My name is Derrick Harris. Derrick Harris is a very complicated individual. He is a lover of music, lover of his family, lover of Motown, lover of, lover of oldies, vibey music, rock, acoustic, pop, and DeBarge. I like to have fun. I like to joke around. I like to be real. And I really like to make people feel good. I like to bless people with music. I feel like it's a gift to give to other people. I am originally from Birmingham, Alabama. Southern bred, Southern raised, cornbread fed. Honestly, if you've ever seen the movie Back to the Future, the first scene where there's that guitar and Marty McFly gets that pick and it gets blown backwards. I will never forget that, and at that moment I said, I want to play guitar. At 16, I joined my first band and started writing songs, and I've never looked back. I've never not loved it. It is just, there's something special about playing music with other people. I think probably the best gig of my life would be in New York City. I loved playing the Bitter End in New York City. One of the great nights. So many people have been on that stage, and to be able to stand up there was awesome. The worst gig of my life, hands down, was in the middle of Brookwood Village in Birmingham, Alabama. There's not even a mic stand, so we propped a mic up on this music stand, and the entire show, it kept moving down, and I would sit there and just sing into it like that and which represented the entire show. Hands down, the worst gig of my life. Yet one of the most memorable gigs of my life. It was awful. I love to help people, and the Lord has called me in this life to give my life to somebody else. And when I do that, I experience more life. And it's strange. How did the two relate? Someone told me a story that you know very well, and told me how they were about to kill themselves. They were going to take some pills. So right before they did, they cried out to God. And right before they did it, they looked over their door, and there was a poster from one of my shows. And they said, that guy loves me. And they didn't do it. That's pretty incredible to hear after you've asked God, why do you have me in these worlds? In this musical world that we have now, there is a separation I see. It's a problem, a separation in the Christian music industry, which separates the sacred and the secular. I personally don't believe that God does that. Everything is sacred to Him. So that means that if I'm playing music in a bar, amen. That means if I'm playing music in a church, amen. But unfortunately, there's this dichotomy that exists that separate the two, and last time I checked, Jesus spent His life in the world, walking around, and in synagogues. And I want to be a guy that is the same wherever I go. And I run into this guy named Howie Klausner, and he's like a living cartoon character. You know, if you could take a cartoon and put it in a human, that's Howie. And so he comes up to me. We end up connecting through youth ministry and just becoming friends. And we had a little songwriting session where we were going to teach some students about songwriting, and we were like, hey, why don't we write some songs together? And we did. That's how I came to this album, Freedom. And he put together a team, and he loved me just like a good Samaritan would when he saw someone on the side of a road in a certain bit of need, and he's like, well, this guy needs this musically, and he took it upon himself to put me in the inn, to pick me up, to use his own gifts and his own possessions to help me get this album. And not only that, we wrote songs together on this album. In the process of writing them, one of my songs was chosen as the title song for a movie called The Secret Handshake. And so it's called Freedom because I'm at a place of freedom. I'm at a place of life. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm so glad God's called me to be a pastor. I'm so glad He's called me to write music. I don't have to separate the two. I'm free to be who I am. And I hope people experience the life, the love, the joy in this CD. because it is who I am. It's got Motown in it. It's got Muscle Shoals in it. It's got a ballad. If you're at the end of yourself, crying out to God, it's got a moment of just hanging out on the beach and basking in the sun and then seeing the sunset and thinking about life. It is fun. It's going to make you shake your booty. It's going to make you move your butt. It is a great CD, and I'm proud of it. And I'm free to say that for the first time, and I want to yell it from the rooftops. Freedom. It's good. Buy it. It's awesome. I love it, and I want to play it for you. So there. Freedom!